Will be sharing with us on where we are today, a critical review and scientific background of anti-aging medicine. I believe that this topic would be very beneficial to all of us. Okay, my name is Panchita Mitipachai and my duty has been completely done. Enjoy the conference. Thank you very much.
Good morning to everybody. It's a great honor for me to be here in Bangkok and to deliver this first speech. I would like to give my thanks to all the organizers and especially my friend Professor Klenze. I would like to give you in some slices the situation of the anti-aging medicine in the 21st century. This is the medical school in which I am working, and all of you know that aging is due to a process of oxidation and inflammation. The actual theory is the inflammatory mitochondrial theory that tells us that progressive and slow accumulation of free radicals in the organisms is leading to mitochondrial damage and to reduce efficiency in the body and diminish production of ATP. So also the accumulation of cellular debris and the activation of the immune system is giving rise to inflammation. There are many diseases involving free radicals and mitochondrial damage. And first of all, of course, is aging. You know that antioxidants are substances in low concentrations as compared to an oxidable substrate that inhibits or retards significantly its oxidation. And there are enzymatic and non-enzymatic. And the elder we get, we produce more free radicals and inflammation, and we produce less antioxidants. Here is an example of people with 20 to 40 years of age or 70 to 80, and this is the situation of lipoperoxidation. You know, you see that when you are younger, you have a lower degree of lipoperoxidation than when you get older. And also, when you are younger, you have more antioxidants, in this case, glutathione reductase, than when you are elder. Or the total amount of glutathione is also much higher when you are between 20 and 40 years of age than when you are elder. So, this is something that I like very much always to say. Nature is not willing that we stay in this world for a long time. Actually, when we have finished growing and reproducing and taking care of our children, nature shows us the exit. Actually, in order to facilitate disease and death, they are just reducing the production of several hormones that are protecting our body. And what we should do, for example, they are reducing growth hormone. You can see here the levels of growth hormone in people from 20 years of age when they are stimulated with GHRH, or with 30 years of age, but at 40, 50, 60, or 70, we are already somatopausic. And in the case of melatonin, you have the same situation. When you are 35, you have much higher levels of melatonin during the night than when you are 70. And with estrogens, you all know that when menopause comes, estrogens disappear, and the same happens also to other hormones, like for example, testosterone, that is going down from 25 years to 80, or other hormones as the hydroepiandrosterone, for example, or the hydroepiandrosterone sulfate. The question is, can we substitute the missing hormones to protect again our body, to increase our quality of life and to reduce disease? For example, role of estrogens in women. You can see here the life expectancy in Spain in the period between 1900 and 2020. Men in 1900, the expected survival time was less than 34 years, women 35. So it's an increase in women for 3.8%. In the 60s, the life expectancy had dramatically improved, but always women live more than men. And why? Is that a problem or a situation only of the human being? No. You can see here in the rat also, this is the curve of the survival curve. This is males and this is females. And what is the reason for that? The reason for that is mainly oxidative stress. We can measure some indicators, for example, hydrogen peroxidase in the mitochondria or lipoperoxide, or we can also measure some glutathione peroxidases and other protective enzymes. And what we see is that, for example, in the production of hydrogen peroxide, the females produce lower amounts than males. And also in brain mitochondria, the difference is quite evident that females produce lower amount of hydrogen peroxide than males. And on the contrary, in the production of antioxidants, in this case glutathione levels, reduced glutathione, the amount produced in the females is higher than the amount produced in the males. And the oxidative damage exerted to mitochondria, the DNA, is also dramatically reduced in females as compared to males. And again, the amount of glutathione peroxidase is higher in females, both in the expression of the RNA or the activity. And superoxide dismutase is also higher in females than in males. And what happens? The telomerase is bigger, higher in the females as in the male. And what happens, for example, in the amount of glutathione that is higher in the female? If they are ovariectomized, that is the equivalent of menopause in the woman, there is a drop in glutathione, reduced glutathione. And if we restore the amount of estrogens that have been lost by ovariectomy, then we also are able to restore the glutathione levels. In the case of the hydrogen peroxide, it's the opposite. Females produce less than males. When they are ovariectomized, the amount produced is increased, and when they are given estradiol, the amount gets again reduced. So one of the origins of the bigger survival time of females than males is surely estrogens. And estrogens disappear with menopause. You can see here the increase in FSH and LH that are associated with this loss. And there are a lot of things that happen that will be in other symposia later on, and one of them is that the amount of mineralization in the bones comes down, and they can enter also in the fracture threshold. And the problem that happens always is that hormonal replacement therapy has been put under suspicion some years ago. But it's true that estrogens are dangerous. And this is the WHI study in which more than 16,000 women with a age of 63 years of age were investigated, and they actually show that there were some cardiovascular problems and also some increase in mammary cancer. But actually, if you really measure, the real incidence is lower than 2 per 1,000. And also a very important thing, normally you have all listened that estrogens are the culprits, but in reality, in this study, there is an arm that is treated only with estrogens, and in this arm, there is no increment in breast cancer. And also new studies that have been performed using estrogen patches and micronized progesterone, there is no increment. So estrogens don't seem to be dangerous, since when given alone do not increase mammary cancer, and also not when given with micronized progesterone. Then the problem is that the incidence of cardiac coronary diseases related to menopause is that independently of the age, less than 40 until 50 to 54, always if a woman is postmenopausal, the amount of the incidence of annual coronary diseases is much higher when the woman is not protected with estrogens. And how can we explain that the same hormones that protect women during her fertile years will become dangerous after menopause? So there are beneficial effects in hot flushes, in genitourinary atrophy, in osteoporosis, in quality of life, but there are also negative problems. But we need also to take into consideration the way by which we are giving the estrogens to the women. For example, when a woman is treated with oral estrogens, there is a significant increase in C-reactive protein. But when the woman is treated transdermally, there is no increment in this C-reactive protein. So, anti-aging medicine acts on several physiological systems with replacement therapy using antioxidants and hormones. The anti-aging medicine acts always from the inside. It's not simply aesthetic medicine acting on the surface, on the skin. For example, in the cardiovascular system, when we give estrogens, the menopausal woman has an increase in the thickness of the media of the carotid artery that is again reduced when giving estradiol. And in an experiment that we performed some years ago, giving a cholesterol-rich food to rabbits, the amount of cholesterol area in the arteries was dramatically increased from nothing to this high. And when given estrogens, you can get a reduction, a very important reduction in the cholesterol area. Also, the relaxation response to acetylcholine is normally very high in normal animals, and is dramatically reduced when the animals are hypercholesterolemic, and when you give estrogens, you restore the capacity of these vessels to vasodilate. And there is also the possibility to use growth hormone, that is an anabolic hormone that is able to modify body composition, but also the cardiovascular system and the bone. And this is a very important paper that was written in the 90s by Daniel Radman et al. And his conclusion was effects of human growth hormone in men over 60 years old. Said that diminished secretion of growth hormone is responsible, at least in part, for the decrease in lean body mass and for the extended amount of fat, and also for the modification in the skin. And actually, replacement therapy with GH can be carried out because the reduction of GH secretion with aging would contribute to the age-associated changes in body composition, reduced muscular strength, bone mineralization, and immune response. So we can treat with growth hormone, but there are some arguments against the use of GH during aging. One is that the therapy with GH induces important secondary effects. For example, alterations in carbohydrate metabolism, muscle alterations, and cardiovascular alteration. But all this happens only if growth hormone is given at very high dosages. The majority of these secondary effects are due to the use of high doses. So we should go to physiological doses of GH, and the benefits of the growth hormone given at physiological dosages do not get reduced. But you need to take into consideration that only elderly people with severe GH deficiency should really benefit from this treatment. I want just to go to the end is to say that aging is due to the increase in oxidative stress, inflammation, and apoptosis. And there are actually ways to interfere with the three processes, that is the anti-aging medicine. Healthy food and moderate exercise are the main treatments, but in addition also antioxidants and hormone replacement. The hormones that show a significant reduction with age are GH, melatonin, estrogens, and also dehydroepiandrosterone and testosterone. All five can be used for hormonal replacement therapy. GH plays an important role in body composition, muscle strength, bone, immune system, and healing of wounds, only if endogenous levels are low. Melatonin acts chronobiologically, inducing sleep, and as antioxidant, direct or indirect, potentiating endogenous ones. Estradiol is the main component of menopausal hormonal replacement therapy, acting on blood vessels and bone. The dehydroepiandrosterone can be used also in men and women, and testosterone in men with hypogonadism. Finally, body composition, you can use, GH and estrogens, the vascular GH, estrogens, and isoflavones. Bone, you can use GH, estrogens, isoflavones, and melatonin. Immune system, growth hormone, estrogens, isoflavones, and melatonin. Nervous system, estrogens, especially, and GH. And quality of life, all the four hormones. Thank you very much.